When you're displaying presents under the Christmas tree, it's satisfying to decorate your gifts with handmade name tags. In this video, I'm going to show you a few examples of gift tags I made using my Spellbinders Platinum machine, a hole punch, and pretty scrapbook paper. I already have these leftover dollar store gift tags. They match most of my gift wrap, like this one and this one. The most common colors, red, green, and white will go with these gift tags, but sometimes I have gift wrap that might be in a different color that's a little bit less common. Like this, for example. This is a scrap piece of gift wrap that's it's like a grayish blue with pastel pink and green and like a dark blue color. So this is a bit uncommon or less common than most of the gift wrap we have. So sometimes when you're in that situation and you have different colored gift wrap that's Christmas themed that you probably need to find more gift tags for, you might as well make some custom ones and see how that turns out, to see if you want to make something that matches what you already have in a different color scheme. So that's why I wanted to bust out my die cut machine so I could put it to good use and make some more gift tags like this and like this. I can make them taller or a bit shorter and then decorate by making outlines with gel pen to make it pop. It also looks more professional by putting the eyelet in the middle and also adding some ribbon, which I really like. To make these tufted gift tags, I used the Spellbinders embossing folder. So it looks like this. I really like the texture on it. It comes out looking pretty cool. This year I might start using this new roll of gift wrap alongside these two. So I have a variety of colors to work with, and I'm going to make a few gift tags to match them. On this roll we have red, blue, green, and yellow. So I'm going to pick out a few pages of my cardstock and see which ones will pair well with it. So I wasn't really too sure about using this gift tag because it's a little bit off to me. I think I might replace it with something else, but it depends on what I find. What I might do is find like a sticker to put on top of it, or I actually felt like looking through one of my paper pads that I hardly use to see if any of these actually match the gift wrap. Maybe it'll be like a better option depending on the shade and the color. See, this one's neon. I think this could work. I just have to cut it in a certain shape and then see how that looks. So we're gonna pull this aside, and then I'll compare this with this to see which one I like better. In this case, I decided to use a corner rounder on one side and then make a border pattern on the other side. Let's start punching. Okay, that looks kind of interesting. I'm gonna grab my scissors and cut off the edge here. And this side too. Okay, then I'm gonna round off this side. I don't like this by itself. I like the color and how it combines with the neon light bulbs, but it needs something else. Maybe it's too see-through and it bothers me now. Or what I can do is just cut this off and round the edges on this one. Kind of undecided. I grabbed the Ocean Blues paper pad to find a color that's close to this one, and I found this sheet that's actually a pretty good close match. So I'm going to layer this on top of it so that way you can see the bubble pattern better. I have a pack of seasonal accents, so what I can do is add the Santa on top of this card since it's big enough to fit it, and then back it with foam stickers to give it a 3D effect. So I took a trip to Walmart to buy a few sets of ribbon, and this one is really pretty. I do like how well it matches with the red on the gift wrap. I was going to use this originally as a label tag, but I decided to tape this to the package and then use the label tag on the side instead. Gonna put it right in the center. Alright, there we go. Not every gift has to have bow or curly ribbon. I originally wanted to have like a big one to put at the top, but this doesn't really match. And then these, I prefer to use it for a different box. So I think we'll just leave it as is, and it looks good enough and it has enough matching colors to really look like it belongs with this gift. I didn't even know we had penguin gift wrap, so that's a nice surprise. I really like the design, so I'll make a matching set of gift tags for this as well. The shiny cardstock that I have doesn't quite match the shade of blue on the penguin, so I'll have to look through my cardstock to see which other shades of blue I have that might be a closer match to this. I was kind of leaning towards this paper pad, but when I go through the colors, they're a little bit too dark or saturated, and this was a little bit closer to what I wanted, like this periwinkle shade, but it didn't have a lighter version of this, so I think I'm gonna have to go with another paper pad that may have already a pattern or texture on it that's not a solid color. So I have a set that's winter themed with pastel colors, and it is called Prism Magic. So I'm gonna flip through this and see which ones I might want to go for. So there's plenty of snowflakes on this pattern. I could do the same thing here and just, cut out a square or rectangle to make a gift tag, or have more of an abstract pattern in the background. This is like a cool watercolor pattern. I'm still trying to decide like which one out of this stash I should pick. I kind of like this one. That one's not too bad. This one looks pretty cool because it has the silver and it's also bigger snowflake patterns. So I think I'm leaning towards this and I might take it out. So I think in this case, instead of doing a square or rectangle tag, I should make a circular one out of one of the bigger snowflakes. So maybe either the green one or the purple. And it'll look pretty nice if I punch a hole at the top of the tag and then string some ribbon on top. It should go pretty well with it. I'll just do like more than one of them because I might use this for at least maybe 2 to 3 gifts. So I can do a purple one, a green one, or maybe a plain silver. We'll see. So I was thinking of using these Spellbinders die cuts to make gift tags because I can take them apart as I need it and just use the basic shapes, if not the patterns. So this is an oval die cut that I can just use to lay over one of the snowflakes. I can also use these for bigger gifts, maybe for a different pattern. You can probably already tell that this is going to be off center because I cut it too small for the piece of cardstock. So whatever, it is what it is. So let's keep it moving. There we go. Looks pretty cool. So maybe I should put a purple one and just glue it together so that way it's not just plain white on the back to make it look a little bit nicer. I think I might do that. Let me see. I also have the Across the Galaxy paper pad. As it turns out, this shade of purple on this would make a really nice backing for this. So might as well take it out and cut out another circle. So now I can tape this to the back and it'll look like a really pretty gift tag. It turned out to be off center, so I'm gonna have to trim the edges manually anyway. It looks a little bit more centered now that I rounded it off a little bit. So I'm kind of satisfied in that regard, and I do like the pretty pattern on the back. So I'm gonna grab my hole puncher and probably put it at the top over here. I do have purple eyelets, but I do not know where the back part is in the same shade of purple. I'm just gonna have to use one that's white instead. Turns out I used the wrong side, so now I gotta try this again and hope it works. It still looks kind of ugly on the back, but on the front it doesn't look too bad, so gonna just have to leave it like that. I'm gonna cut out another section that'll have the snowflake more in the corner. Here we go. Cool, I like this one. I made another one as well. I don't know how many more I should do. Maybe just one more. I want to have at least a set of 4. I like making an even number of tags. Cool. So now I got them all together. Maybe I should do a different shape now. For the next layer, I'm going to position it right here in this shape. Cool. I like that. I'm going to have to use these colored eyelets for a different project because they don't look very good by themselves without a washer on the backside. It looks more jagged compared to the ones with the washer. The only one that has a washer is the black eyelet, so I'm going to have to put them on all the tags. Yep, much better. Now I'm going to keep going with the rest of them. Later on, I'm going to add some string or ribbon at the top, but for now, I'm going to switch over to the tags I was originally making. I cut out some white cardstock to apply to the back side of them. Some pieces are more like a fold-over gift tag, whereas others will be smaller pieces. I already distressed the edges, and I let it dry, so I'm going to glue them to the back, and then round off the edges with the corner chomper with the scallop pattern. Now I'm going to grab my Tombow liquid glue and apply this to the back. Now that the eyelets are on, I can use ribbon or twine to put through the holes. At first I was going to use twine, but then I found this thin ribbon that has iridescent edges, so I think I'll stick with that instead. So now I'm going to measure how much I might need. You know what? From now on, I'm going to have to trim it after I tie it, because otherwise it's always going to be uneven. There, looks a little bit better. So I'm going to continue with the rest of them. And for this gift, I'm going to use this gift tag since I think it goes best with it, and decided to grab one of the bigger bows. I'm going to have to curl the ribbon at the end too because it has a lot of extra string. Okay, I feel like cutting it right here. Trying to see how I can make it more even. Alright, I'm gonna cut it right about here. Oh shit. I screwed up. I cut it too short. I might end up cutting this off altogether because I don't think it really needs to be here. I think I'll just leave the bow. There we go. And trim it here. Boop. Alright, I think that's better. It's just more easy to work with anyway. Ta-da! I recently wrapped a gift card inside this box, so I think I might as well make a gift tag to go with this as well, but it's going to be smaller since it doesn't make sense to make a large gift tag for this size. Normally I would put a sticker on the bottom, but in order to reuse this box for another gift next year, I don't want to have the sticker there and have to like rip it off or cover it up in order to use it for somebody else or recycle it. So it just made more sense to use a gift tag on the top instead of putting a sticker on the bottom. And I'm going to use it with this bright red cardstock. So I'm going to have to trim it to like a small size and then do the edges in like a scallop pattern that kind of matches the edges of this right here. I think I'll make it 1.5 inches. Okay, I like this size. But first I can layer on white cardstock on top of it so that way the writing is legible. It could be a little bit longer, but that's fine. Okay, now let's do the edges. I'm gonna do the scallop side. This is the We Are Memory Keepers Crocodile Corner Chomper. I have 3 of these because I really like the variety of patterns I can play with when I'm making tags and to make the edges look more professional. I like using these pens because they don't really smear. I stamped the letters on off camera, and now let's ink the edges. I already dried this side with a heat gun, so I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. Alright, so now it has a shadow on both sides. To make it stand out a little bit more, I'm going to outline the edges here in black. So now I can put this bow on top and then add some string to this tag and dangle it from the side or the back so that it doesn't cover the front. This ribbon is skinny enough to fold and fit into the hole, so I'll use this. I'm just gonna see how much I'm gonna need. I'm gonna eyeball it. Okay, let's see. So if I dangle it from here, or maybe the corner, probably do it like right here. I might just have to stick it out like that, because having it dangle off the side is kind of awkward because it's too stiff. It doesn't limp very comfortably if I stick it out on the side. So it's probably gonna have to be like this. So I'm gonna cut it right about here. I could peel it off here, but I usually don't because I like to reuse the bows. So I'm just gonna roll the tape on underneath it. Probably could have used a smaller bow, but I don't really have that many red ones left over. Okay, cool. I think that's pretty solid. I'm gonna write the name in later. When I was wrapping my gifts, I noticed that they look more polished with less effort when you decorate with wide ribbon. You'll make the most of your holiday scrapbook paper by using your die cuts or embossing folders to customize the shapes and textures on your gift tags. As you can see, the results are worth the effort. You might get compliments from your family or friends when they say, "Oh, how nice, I like the way you decorated this." And then you'll put away the rest of your gift tags that you didn't use for next year's Christmas. Thanks for watching. Bye.